We have a 2012 Kia Sorento, and we're here to change the spark plugs. The top cover pops off. It's on these little rubber mounts with the posts here on the engine. And so basically you just gently pry it up, and it'll come up. Here's the other two down here. The tools we're going to need are a 10mm and a 14mm socket. This is what it looks like after about a half hour, 45 minutes. There's three bolts that go around here. There's one on the right, there's one up here on the top, and there's one down here on the left. There's two of these long bolts that came out of right here on the upper side. I took out the 3 bolts here for the harness. That's 3 little silver bolts. Okay, there's 2 nuts. I dropped one of them. There's one right back here, and the other is right there. And there's one 14mm bolt, which is on the back side. Right back here, there's a bracket down here that you'll be able to feel. There, my finger's in it right now. Okay, there's one more 10mm bolt that, or 10mm socket anyway, that holds that on there. And that is hopefully that guy. This guy here holds this bracket here. Okay. Wiring harness disconnects. Hose came from there. You can see, took that off. Took this hose from there. Disconnect the air filter sensor. Disconnected this vacuum hose. And there's one more plug that goes right there. Okay, disconnected this, which I guess I didn't need to disconnect the vacuum hose then. Where's that cable? Oh, there's the other pigtail. Okay, and there's a little trick to undoing these, so that you don't have to go back and buy them again. When you look at it from this side, you can see this little tab right there. So what I do is I stick the screwdriver in there and push that tab down, and they will slide open. Through like that. Stick this screwdriver in, push down on the tab, and it opens back up. Okay, so that way I didn't need to buy any new tabs or anything else like that. And right at this point, the upper plenum is loose. And that should be all the bolts that I've taken out so far. So what I've needed so far is a screwdriver, something to slip in there and pop those tabs open with, a number 3 Phillips to get the air intake, some pliers to squeeze the clamps, and a 14mm deep socket to catch the one on the back. And I use a flex head with the short extension and a longer extension with the 10mm. and a 10mm wrench. Okay, now it's time to take the plugs out. First thing to do is to get these safeties off an easy way, and with the small screwdriver I found, just stick it in there and kind of wedge it over, and they pop right back. Oops. Okay, now the safeties are out. Then you can see on these there's a squeeze tab. You squeeze the tab and push it and wiggle it a little, and they come right out. Okay, the next thing to do is to pull this bolt, and you'll get the upper unit and the bolt out. Then pull the spark plug out with a 5/8 spark plug socket. And if you've never changed plugs before, then the spark plug sockets have a retainer that hangs onto the spark plug. You don't drop it when you hang it over the hole. So put it back together. Just fold it off to the side like that, and then you fish it around the back side, being careful not to get the gasket for the air intake caught up. Come around on towards the passenger compartment, and then come in under until you can get on top of those two studs. Check and make sure your gasket seats good, and then it's put it back together. And at the end of it, go back through and make sure that you attached all the hoses, and just double check and count, make sure you torqued them all. When I finished, I double checked and found I left one hose unconnected and the 14mm bolt in the back. I hadn't tightened it up yet. This is what the plugs look like after 100,000 miles. You can see there's some deposition of the original platinum or iridium or whatever it was plug tip. That shiny bit down there on the curve. The whole project took about a little over an hour and a half. About 40 minutes to take it apart, and about 40 or so minutes to put it back together. The hardest part was those two little screws, the two little nuts that fell off. Just be careful not to lose those.